I'm using C and G. And I don't know if you'd be able to hear that. Can you hear it? C and G are the perfect pitch. It's actually the perfect fifth pitch. And there's something that I've been transitioning through. And I know that many of you have noticed that I've been a little offline lately. And it's because I needed to create balance within myself in many different ways. So, what I can do for everybody is teach my passion. What keeps Michelle happy? What keeps people in divine alignment is sound. There's so much going on at the moment, and this transition is all about all of us accepting our negatives as well as our positives. It is about accepting that we are responsible for our either eternity or not. We are responsible for the energy we are putting out there. We are responsible for the things that are happening on the planet. Because if we grow negative energy without knowing how to work with it, we're just going to fuck things up. Plain and simple. And I do not swear online, on camera, but that's what humanity is going to do if we keep building negatives. I noticed this week that there's been comments online that really unsettled me, and I had to ask for guidance on how am I going to reply to this. And you know, the one thing that came through, and I wasn't thinking anything, was to question if the comments or the things that you are sharing are actually love, or is it anger? Is it coming from a place of ego? So ego would be defensive, aggressive, wanting to create a fight right now, because we are going from one state of being into learning how to be another. And so witnessing ourselves and how we're responding to people is huge right now, huge. And it's not about judging others for being in the wrong way of being, or witnessing other people and their relationships. It's about you. It's about you only. It's about how you respond to life. It's about what energy you are creating. Because if you're creating any negative energy, it's just going to come back at you. Now, I've been offline. I have been really quiet. You know, we're all going through changes right now that is creating a transition within each of our lives. And some of those transitions are small, some of them are big. And for me, the transition that I've had to come to terms with is actually quite big. And so I have not told many people, I haven't spoken about it online, I haven't said anything because my issues are not yours. And so I had to learn how to disconnect what my issues are and what I'm dealing with one door closing and another opening, okay? This is not anything to do with my Patreons and the energy that you guys are creating. And so that led me to being quiet for a little minute, because I had to go into introspection. I had to really witness if I'm coming from ego, or if I'm, being the best that I can be for you guys. And that is where this transition has been actually really one of the hardest transitions I've been through since I had my awakening. And it has also been weirdly magical, like it's pushing me in a direction that has, you know, blown me away. And so when spirit pushes us and guides us, and divinely we get excited about it and we want to, you know, step into that new way of being, but the old has been holding on. So the universe, if we haven't stepped into it properly, the universe is going to make sure that we do. And so I'm coming public and saying my hairdressing days are coming to an end. I will be doing haircuts and smaller things. I will be introducing my sounds into my studio more and more. I will be pushing that because this is what people need and this is what spirit needs of me. And so my studio will be used for hair and sound, but in a whole different way. Spirit is really literally, as I'm saying here, my shoulder and my neck are really hurting. I really do feel like in time spirit is going to push me away from hair completely, unless I listen. And so this is where I say this transition is all about one door closing and another one opening. Okay, this means this can be within relationships. It can be within the relationship of yourself or with people that you have had around you for a very long time. This means that spirit is going to really push humanity into the new. This means each and every person on the planet right now has to witness their own negatives and how they hold themselves back. And as I'm saying that, my shoulder is killing me. So, with Venus in her transition, she's gone out of sight right now. She's behind the sun to us here on planet Earth. And this transition with Venus is all about the shadow self. It is all about going to the depths of darkness and seeing what else is there. And this is going to be a non-stop job throughout our lives. Now, Venus transitions once every couple of years, and I don't know if she's going to be doing it for a while. So I think this is the last transition of a cluster of them over a few years. And so throughout this transition, there has also been the beginning of the eclipse. And so that all began in Scorpio. And so with myself being a Scorpio, I can tell you now this transition was super hard. It was really hard to take and very much a transition that will cause change. It is a transition portal. So the transition and the eclipse portal is still open, and it will, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in Taurus and Taurus is on the opposite of Scorpio. And so that is the portal that we're in right now with the eclipses. We're going through that portal as well as Venus being in the dark. And so we are all transitioning, all of us on the planet. And I ask with all of my love, all the angels, I'm being told to clear the cards, all the ancients, so I'm asking for guidance, for the greatest good of all to come forth. I'm going to talk to my guides. Call upon Merlin, Thoth, Hermes, all the divine dragons, all the divine fairies, Father, sky, air, all the earth, elemental and mystical energies. I ask with all of my love for the right to read the energy for the good of all here on Patreon. I call upon the White Light Oracle. Now I need to tell you I'm really looking forward to this. My shoulder has been really sore. It's starting to be able to be used. I have pinches in my neck. But this healing sound session I'm really looking forward to creating with all the transition that's happening right now within my life. It is making sure I have time for all you guys, because this is where my passion is. And the way that Spirit has led the last few months for myself has been absolutely humongous. I need to reach out personally to a few people. I've been really feeling disconnected from many as I transition, and that was to protect those that I am so connected to here, okay? The guidance to feed out the techniques that I have already recorded has been super strong, and I will be doing that lots, because those techniques are what helps me go through so many transitions within this changing world, and it will help you too. So I am looking forward to creating tomorrow morning a soundscape that will go on to the top tier, and it will be fed onto the lower tiers later in the month. I will be redoing my tiers here on Patreon as it's starting to change, and I'm going to be having more time to create the things that my passions really yearn to do to support the transition of everybody here. I ask the White Light Oracle to support me in feeling your divine guidance. I ask to create a soundscape that will support everybody here on Patreon. I ask for support within this transition of shadows, that many witness without judgment and live in discernment at all times, in love's grace. I ask for the supporting guide that we all need with all of my heart. Oh my goodness, I think I've just been blown away. That was very powerful. Oh my goodness. That was very powerful. The flick of my thumb. How divine. But I have literally just put a post up on Inner Wisdom on Instagram and Facebook about 333. So this reading will be posted to all my tiers on Patreon. I will be creating a soundscape sound session that will support the healing process within this divine White Light Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. So I know that many people have this. If you see this card, if you see this, I have just posted about 333. I opened my phone to let my husband know something awesome, and it was 333 on the 3rd of November. So November rains, huh? I look forward to sharing this with my Patreons, and I look forward to creating the soundscape as we journey into new ways, new beings, being pushed by the universe, whether we like it or not. Surrender, it won't be so painful. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.